right. Good morning, traders. Welcome back to Framework Fortune. I am your host, Ben. We're going to have a day of some nonsense. I can already tell you that we are going to be full-fledged packed with nonsense because Jerome Powell is speaking. So we know, well, I guess he spoke yesterday, but their official announcement on these rate hikes and stuff are coming today. What's up, David Davis? So they claim they're not going to raise interest rates right away, which is a funny game considering. Well, let's just get into the article. I'm going to pull up the article of what Jerome Powell said. I didn't watch it because I'd rather just wait and see, what he said afterwards. It's painful to watch. But let me pull up this article here. And we'll go over it. I'm not in any trades at the moment. I'm not even looking for any trades right at the second. I'm still in SPXS. It has came down because the SPY rebounded some. But we're going to go into that too. Because I don't think we are going to continue to rebound even with this nonsense. So let's see here. Let's see if I don't know if this is the article, but Jesus, look at all these ads. Let's see. The Fed Open Market Committee is all but certain to hold its benchmark rate near zero after a 2-day policy meeting. Meeting Wednesday while sticking to its plan to taper asset purchases and end them in March. So they're ending the tapering. They're ending the money printing by March. So all that money's coming out of the market. So let's see. This is not what I want to see. Let's see. I think it was on Yahoo Finance. Let me check Yahoo Finance. Now, there is a possibility, and I don't know this for sure, but it is a possibility Jerome Powell comes out and flips the switch today. I would not be surprised if he comes out and goes, "Oh, actually, we are raising rates." we decided we weren't. We thought we weren't going to, but now we're going to. Either way, all this money is coming out of the market by March, so. Let's see. Bunch of what to expect from the Fed meeting. Let's see what this says. I don't want to hear what all y'all have to say. I just wanted to let me look on Thinkorswim. Maybe it's on Thinkorswim. Yeah, that's probably right, David Davis, and that's it's not going to be good for anything. Let's see here if it was in the PR yesterday. On the SPY. Oh, wow. Fauci says he does not think we will see indefinite surges of COVID. Now, here's something really incredible. All right. And this is one of the things I was trying to find. in the article that I read that had what God almighty, look at all this PR. But one of the things that Jerome Powell said was basically COVID's pretty much over. It's time to get back to normalization of the markets. All right. The European leaders have said there's no need for a fourth vaccine. Basically, everything with COVID is all of a sudden starting to dry up and go away. Out of nowhere. You know. Yo, you think it's already priced in? Um, it's a possible. Normally, I would agree. Normally, I would agree with you that it is priced in. However, it doesn't. It doesn't change the chart analysis, which we're still barely even holding above the 200-day here on the daily. And the ramifications of them doing what they're doing, these Fed policies, are going to show themselves. It's going to really start showing soon. I mean, it's already showing when inflation's as high as it is. So I think sentiment-wise across the whole market, I'm sure people think this is the bottom, but there's too much damage done already to the economy because it's been damaged for a long time, as I've been saying. Them tapering and then raising interest rates at this point are not going to be able to stop it. I mean, we're in stagflation already. So what is raising the interest rates 1% or 2% going to actually do? And then still the fact remains, even though this pullback was a decent pullback on the SPY, this is still buying at the very top from all that money printing. And I don't see big money coming in and buying up the Fed's overinflated valued stock market. What big money would want to buy at these high prices? So without that big money to come back in to hold the market up like the Fed has been doing, there's going to be a gaping hole of volume and transactions. That or the big money could be going short. I don't know. I am not, for one, I don't like to go off of anything Jerome Powell says because he's crazy. He talks a lot of nonsense. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It is a possibility we rebound. But it's really going to depend. And of course, right now, on the 5-minute chart, the SPY is already turning around and very close to starting to drop again. So if we continue to drop this morning, then investors don't really care about what this meeting says. They have decided that they don't care what Jerome Powell says, and they're not buying. They're not going to buy after these high prices. Yeah, see, look, we're already dropping, hit a new low a day just now. You know, we're barely holding this 200-day. I mean, that's the only support we have before we correct even further down. Like, there's not, after this area, the next area is like way down here. So I just, is it possible the market rebounds from here? Possibly. But I'm still very, very, very skeptical because I just don't know who is going to come in and buy these stocks at these higher prices. Good morning, Donnell. I know we did a 20% correction, but a 20% correction off of the all-time highs, when the all-time highs look like this, that's not much. That's not a much of a correction. It's not a correction at all. It's just a tiny little pullback in this crazy market. Like, you have to look back at the higher time frames, at past chart history. This is the first time they're stopping quantitative easing since 2008. The quantitative easing didn't start in 2020. It started in 2008 after the housing market crash. So a 20% correction right here, when you have all of this uptrend that's leaning straight up, a 20% correction is nothing. Like, that's not a correction. What is corrected about this straight up market trend? There's no, we didn't correct anything. We've not leveled back out at all. This is not a correction, really. I mean, you can call it a correction, but that's what I'm saying. Is it really a correction? And comparatively, we're worse off now when COVID dipped, but we're worse off now than when COVID crash happened. The COVID crash was still twice the size of this crash, and our economy is worse off. So I just don't see it. I don't see it. Them the Fed's doing what they want to do is, so far, went terribly, and I don't see any way that they're going to change anything at this point. Now, what's up, Lauren? Good morning, Donnell. Sicilian. So far, I hadn't even looked at a trade yet. I'm just analyzing what has happened with the Fed meeting yesterday and analyzing whether or not, I think the market is going to actually rebound. Now, here's the thing. We could very easily have a nice big spike rebound on the simple sentiment that all of a sudden now everywhere seems to be done with COVID. It's like a fucking light switch went off. God, I'm gonna get demonetized on this video. I shouldn't have cussed this earlier, but that's how much it angers me. But anyway, it's like a light switch has turned off now, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's done. COVID's done. Whatever." That was one of Jerome Powell's statements. Like, it's time to get back to normalization. Just a month ago, Fauci and all of them were still saying, "Oh God, it's going to be the end of the world." We're getting yanked around as retail investors and even people who are not invested in the stock market. We're getting yanked around in a financial, like I've said before, this is a financial war going on. These elites are trying to take every dollar from us. I mean, they're at this point this year, or after last year, after AMC and GameStop, most people should have learned that things are not all pretty. Oh, I just realized I had this stuff up there. My little toilet paper. That was to dry my tears from listening to Jerome Powell talk. Whoops. Move that back over. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking at this chart and asking myself, does Jerome Powell's word have enough magic in it? And after these last couple of years where a lot of people don't trust Jerome Powell, they're like me and they're like, that guy talks crazy. You know, this is the same guy who said that inflation was caused by COVID. Now, he knows how economics works. He knows that's not how inflation works. They're printing money is how inflation works. So he's lied and everything. But I just don't see him magically, saying something or the Fed's announcing something that's going to reverse this downtrend. And especially when they're going to continue to taper. They're going to continue to pull money out of the market. I mean, that's what they've said. They're going to continue to taper until March and continually yank this money out. And I don't think we're going to see the market hold up while they're yanking the rest of the money out. I mean, the technical analysis is not showing a reversal whatsoever. I mean, like I said, this thing, the SPY is just barely holding. And actually, let's go to the Dow Jones index, the industrial index. I like looking at that better than the SPY for the most part. And let's see if we're back above that support. No. So looking at the Dow Jones, that's the weekly chart. We're kind of above it on the week. But when we go into smaller time frames to see which direction we're headed, we're on the daily here. We are just barely above that previous uptrend. But so far today, look at this big wick thrown up there, and now is pulling back below that 200-day moving average. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to see it much of a rebound. Robert Baca, I'm just kind of still focused on the SPY and this Fed meeting. I mean, I don't know. Let me look around and see if there's any possible trades. There could be, but anything you get in, you probably don't want to stay in, because with everything happening, anything they come out with this, whatever this decision is they make, if you're holding something up to that point, that decision the Feds announce could rock the market one way or the other. So it's kind of sketchy. So if you are getting in something, you kind of want to be in and out pretty quick. Because honestly, I have no idea how everything's going to react. But I just don't see the market rebounding. See, EXTN, this one's actually slowly climbed up, almost broke that previous high. Looking pretty decent on the daily chart, but actually it doesn't have a lot of room to move. It doesn't make very big moves. I'm going to take that off. CSPR looks like garbage. GMVD's possible play. Apron not doing too much. SRRA getting a little push up. So this is a possible play you could keep an eye on. It's not looking too bad. Broke this downtrend. That downtrend there, so kind of started a new uptrend. Come on. But still need to kind of look for a pullback on it. Yeah, so your uptrend. I mean, you have a shorter uptrend, but this one makes more sense. You could also draw a straight up one like this and play it off of that one as well. See a LRN. It's the price target raise. DWAC, ZGNX, nothing there on those. Nothing on that, nothing on that. Yeah, so at the moment, all I'm seeing is SRRA as a possible play. And that's pretty much it. Jerome, hold on a second, guys. Give me just a second. I'm about let's see. Daddy JP is going to tank the market. DWAC is just selling off. I mean, it's still above at 10 days, so it is a possible play, but it's in this downtrend. Let me go ahead and delete these lines. And there's really not been a lot of volume on it yet. I mean, this bar right here was only 500,000. This thing's been getting tons of volume. I mean, it could possibly be a play at some point today. I don't know, but right now it's not really showing me anything of a reason why I would want to trade it. Let's see. David Davis, VCNX as a scalp. Throw that on there. Baca, you said DraftKings. We'll throw that on there. Oh, where'd it go? Oh. DKNG. Oh, there it goes. I'm glad that the scanner is working for you, Cecilian. That is awesome. Zachariah. I pretty much only trade low floats because of the simple fact that it's less capital for bigger gains. But I will take a look at higher price stocks and higher float stocks. I have no problems doing that. I've done plenty of stock reviews on the channel of stocks with higher floats and things like that. Even Lauren's military list of stocks that I did a video on, a lot of those were very high floats, $500 and $800 stocks and stuff. So I mean, I'll look at everything, but me personally, I just don't like trading those because it takes so much capital. So I just stick to the low floats in a decent price range, nothing too crazy. I ain't going into the OTC markets and buying up low float OCC garbage stocks. VNC, whoa, What are you guys seeing on VCNX? Because this thing is dead. And it's below all EMAs. It just got couldn't even make it up to the 50-day. There's a lot of selling going on there. What do they got? Phase 1B results. That's nothing. It's trash. Donkey Kong or DraftKings, whatever it's called. This does have some potential. There is a little uptrend on this 15-minute. However, it gapped up and it's quite a ways off that uptrend. And then also it's still below all the EMAs. So it's basically just kind of, DraftKings is basically just kind of rebounding because the SPY was rebounding this morning. But a lot of that you already see on these plays since the SPY stopped rebounding and started crashing again. Or dropping again, I should say, not crashing. Yeah, like the whole sell-off from the SPY, that was the sell-off on DraftKings. And then we just last couple of days having this bounce. So if you think the SPY is going to fully rebound, DraftKings could be a play. Also, you know, maybe you can get a scalp. It did have a pop-up about $1 move. We'll keep an eye on DraftKings. Oh, I just don't like it because it's below all the EMAs, though. It does have, let's see, what does it have room to? It basically has room to 25 to rebound to there. We'll see if it can. See, they just got upgraded to $31 price target. Yeah, see, they don't even have any good news. It's just nonsense, but yeah, I'd like to see it come back down to 20. If it come back down towards 20, towards this trend line, I might would take a look at it, but I'm not going to buy it or even try to trade it way off of this trend line. And running into that 200-day. SSRA has strong resistance at 25 and 26. So it's got a lot of areas to try to get through up here from those previous days. And you can see it's already getting rejected there. Actually close to crack. I'm going to go ahead and remove that little trend line because I think this is the trend line that's going to probably hold up. If it pulls back, that's where we'll probably start seeing support at in that 22.50. But the SPY's still dropping. We're now below the 200-day again. You know, this is, think about it as trading a regular stock. If you saw this candle, here getting rejected at this downtrend, getting rejected at this 200-day moving average, would you jump in this as a long day trade, as a long position? Because I wouldn't. So I am still holding my SPXS because I'm still bearish on the stock market. I don't think we're going to see much of a rebound. I did add to it yesterday 5 shares. I may look to add again if we do see a big spike in the market, a big rebound. I don't know. I'm gonna wait before I do anything on that. DraftKings still consolidating, but look at this volume profile. The buying volume decreasing. Need to see buying volume start to come back in if it's going to break. Let's see. David Davis, JP will not want to be the reason the market's tank. Jerome Powell is the reason. It doesn't matter whether he wants to be. He's the one who pressed the money print button since 2008, you know. What are my two low flow rippers I'm keeping my eyes on? Um, SRRA is one of them, but I don't know if it's going to do much. I mean, it's going to run into the same resistance up here. It's been the same resistance as yesterday that it's hitting, and now with the SPY starting to drop, I'm not filling any position, honestly, other than being in the inverse right now, the inverse ETF of the SPY. I'm waiting to kind of see what SRRA does. Maybe it might present an opportunity, but nothing quite there yet. And then really the only other thing, and DraftKings is not a low float. DraftKings is 400 million shares. But like I said, that's just rebounding from the SPY, so I don't really think that's going to do much unless the SPY tries to rebound. But other than that, I'm really not seeing anything else at the moment. SPY hodl, yeah. Do I know why it's going up? So when I day trade, a lot of times I don't pay too much attention to exactly why it's going up. A lot of my trades come off a straight chart analysis. I'm looking at the pattern. So just without reading the news, I can read the news and find out why it gapped up. But it had the pop up yesterday where it gapped above all EMAs. So the only things I trade, or I try to stick to my trading plan, is I only day trade things that are above the three moving averages, the 10-day, the 50, and the 200. So since it gapped up above that, it is now technically bullish on the chart. So since it's bullish, it could continue to rip. However, we are in really a wonky day right now because the whole market sentiment is waiting to see what the actual announcement is going to be on these rate hikes and this tapering. So I'm looking at the chart pattern. We look at this at a shorter time frame. It kind of almost is a triangle, but not quite yet. So it's got to break over 25 strong, and then it's got to hold 25 as support. And then once we see a break and it hold $25 as support, then we could see it try to move on back up and maybe test somewhere in this area, like maybe up to 30 or something like that. And it would be a quick rip. The thing with low floats is a lot of the rips are pretty quick. A lot of times you don't want to hold them for a long time. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Yeah, see DraftKings getting rejected there on the 1 hour. Yeah, see it's coming down. SPY's giving another little push to try to rebound off that 200-day at this moment, but very likely could crack. Let's see what got like 5 minutes left. Now, of course, the announcement's not till 2 o'clock, or 2:30, I think. Eastern, so it's like 1:30 my time. So we still got plenty of time before those announcements come out, and the market could just, I mean, there may not be any plays to get into. Like right now, it's just being very, very cautious and waiting for the best possible setup. Like I'm not just going to jump in anything today just to jump in anything. I am being very, very sneaky, sir. You know, it's we gotta be the Mr. Deeds butler. We can't be out in the open throwing money around being crazy like Mr. Deeds. We gotta come out of nowhere and be like, here is your socks, sir. I'm very, very sneaky. And then you disappear. That's how you want to be as a day trader right now in the stock market. You want to give Mr. Deeds the socks, and then you want to be gone. Oh yeah, so that was the PR on it. It had top line, phase 3 results. What's up, Lori? But even though it had those phase 3 results, it did have the nice gap up, but it didn't really move much further up. But one good thing is it held most of the gains from the gap up. You know, it didn't hold the gains up here 30 or 25, but where it gapped up from 15 all the way up to 20, it did hold that. So that is a sign, or at least one signal of possible confirmation that this thing may try to run. Like, it's a decent setup. This is definitely a possible play today, but as of right this second, I don't know yet. We got to see. Like I said, if it could come back down towards this, down the uptrend here, maybe around 22, 23, and we see it hold this uptrend one more time, I might look for an entry off of the uptrend. But just nothing there yet for me. LRN. Now, I did notice, real quick though, as I looked over really quick, yesterday, SRR is planning $100 million common stock offering. So with that common stock offering, that normally leads to a sell-off. So even though the chart analysis is looking pretty decent on SRRA, this sell-off or this common offering could easily, if they enact this common offering, it could drop the prices. So far, it seems to not have affected it that much. And we're starting to give a little test again, the 25. $2 is the exact time. Okay, thanks, David Davis. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 2:30. What's up, Colombiano? Jose, it's been a while, my friend. You had Vivos overnight from 280 and sold at 315 today. Very nice. You should go mess with Hal. Go into HH Trader stream and tell him you made a profit off of Vivos and that you're a better trader than he is because he took a loss off Vivos. Go mess with him. Oh, goodness. Hello, Trading Ever After. Interactive Brokers is definitely one of the best choices for Canada. Great, man. Glad to hear that. I'm glad you were able to get a broker that works for you in Canada. Pretty much everybody I've talked to around the world who's a trader, if they can't use Thinkorswim or these American platforms that we have, they usually use Interactive Brokers. You don't like rubbing it in? That's not nice. Nah, man, it's Hal. It's Hal, man. He needs a little, Daniel being One Life, they're always over there giving him hugs and kisses. He needs a little bit of trolling. Dosh Trader, yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Dosh Trader, but I haven't used Dosh Trader in like 3 years since Sure Trader. But Sure Trader doesn't exist anymore, I think. It's been a while. I don't remember exactly when I used it, but I was using it with the Sure Trader platform. It's a little costly. I think DOS Trader has a monthly fee if I remember, but I don't know what's changed. Price wise, interactive is best choice. Nice. Yeah, it may execute. I don't know. I don't know. Well, like I said, it's been a long time since I used DOS Trader, so I don't want to put anything out there on it because I really don't know. If there's in 2-3 years, a lot can change with the platform. So I didn't have a problem with it. It was pretty simple, um, pretty simple interface to use. But back when I was using it, I didn't see that good of execution on fills. So it could have changed. Yeah, see, we can see right here where SRIA is getting rejected off of this uptrend. So now I just want to see it come back down right around here. 22, 20. Well, at this point, 22 is not an option because that would be below the trend line. So we want to see it come back down to about 23. And then if it can hold the trend line around 23, I may look for an entry to see it push back up to 25 to try to break. But that looks like possibly by the end of the day. We'll see. Let me look on the top 10% NASDAQ gainer list and see if we got anything. NLST, this is 220 million shares. This thing has pretty much went straight up. Oh, smashing right into the 200-day moving average, though. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. All these things under the moving averages, they're getting smashed right into them. Yeah, there's nothing on the top NASDAQ gainer list that I would want to trade. Let's check the NYSE. God, what a gap up. This is a gap up from... No, this got to be a reverse split. Let me see. Yeah, it's a reverse stock split. It wasn't a gap up. So nothing there. LRN just kind of shot up a little bit there. Not really doing much though. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Got a few things. BPT, no volume on it. It is kind of low float, slowly moving. Actually, I'm going to put this on the watch list just because it pays out a dividend. Damn, they just paid out a 58-cent dividend at $5.20. That's a 10% dividend yield that they gave out there. But this thing's been uptrending pretty nice, but hitting a high a year right now. So this may be an interesting swing trade or something like that. I don't want it right now because it's buying it at the top. But over the next few days and next week, I do want to keep BPT on watch. Only 21 million in shares, so not that big of a float. SSRA may try to test and break here possibly. On this 15-minute, we're getting a bit of a bullish candle, but we still have 10 minutes on this candle to close. Yeah, bullish engulfing candle here into that $25 resistance. But we don't know if it's going to break this 25. Like I said, I don't know if it'll break right here. I think it's going to have to come back one more time. It could break, but I don't think so. Yeah, you can see that selling pressure. It was a bullish candle. Still is a bullish engulfing, but with 10 more minutes left and it's already getting pushed down. You see lots of selling pressure trying to keep this thing from breaking out. Yeah. Okay. What's going on with my stream? Hold on a second here. Let's see. Got crazy stuff going on. Let's see. Zachariah, you know VXRT will have phase 2A study results. So trying to swing, well, I don't know, are you trying to swing into those phase results, or are you talking about you're waiting for that news to come out so you can day trade those stocks? If you're waiting for the news to come out to day trade them, that is what you want to do. But trying to swing into news can go bad. You never know, even if it's the best news that could be coming out, you never know how the market is going to initially react to it. I've seen the best PR time and time again come out, traders get so excited about it, and then the stock just dumps. I've seen the worst news possible on stocks that should not be moving and then rip dollars. So you never really want to, well, I'll say this, it's not a good idea to swing into news or hold into news. Now, if you can get it on rumor and then you sell the hype before the news, a lot of times we'll see stocks that'll come out, saying like they're going to have those phase 2A and all of that. And you'll get some hype in there the day of, possibly. But if you know that's coming, the price probably will go up more likely than not, in most cases, a little bit before that PR. And that's going to be your gain. That's pretty much it until you see how the market reacts to that PR. Now, I'll also say phase 1, phase 2, not the strongest PR. Even if it's good news on the phase 1 and phase 2, these companies, there's so many pharmaceutical companies, there's so many drugs that go into these phases. A lot of them don't make it to phase 3. If they do make it to phase 3, a lot of them will come out and miss their primary endpoints, which usually leads to a crash. Until you really have positive phase 3 results, that's kind of like the final stair step before FDA approval. Before phase 3, you don't really know what's going to happen. At any point in time, that study, that drug could just get scrapped. So we'll see, especially in a lot of the penny stocks, a lot of low float stocks, we'll see PR all the time. Oh, this is good phase. We got good phase 1 results or whatever, and it may get a little pop up that day, but usually they sell right off afterwards, and that's it. until some phase 3 news comes out. Like the phase 1 and phase 2 is not that important. Let's see here. Got Lauren talking about Spectrum, the worst internet company in the world. If you use Spectrum, I feel sorry for you. I have to use Spectrum too, and I hate it. What's up, Lightning Rick? Yeah, that's kind of where I saw that. Sorry, Daniel B distracted me with him saying that I'm selling some type of course. The only course that I'm selling, Daniel B, is just a video of the debate between me and you. That's what I'm selling people, just so they can, you know, get some good quality content. But yeah, the kind of stock market saying is, buy the hype, or not buy the hype, buy the rumor, sell the hype, sell the news. That's one way to do it. But you don't, like I said, don't wait till the news comes out. When you're up before the news comes out, that's when you want to sell the news. You sell the hype. Because that's what most see, new traders and retail traders, unexperienced traders in the markets for the most part automatically think good news is good news, right? We kind of been brainwashed our whole life to just believe the news. That will get you destroyed in a heartbeat in the stock market. These companies, especially in the lower prices, but even the high price companies, we've seen it time after time again. These companies will go out of their way to screw you over. I mean, they're not personally doing it to you specifically, but they're going out of their way to raise money for their company or their pockets, whatever their reasoning is. They will put out fake news. There's been plenty of times. It was like not too long ago, there was one. Oh, I know. I remember exactly what it was. I don't remember the ticker symbols, but there was two very similar ticker symbols, and there was supposed to be big news coming out on the one company. Well, a whole bunch of people got the ticker symbol wrong, and so did the actual PR from Thinkorswim and from everywhere. The PR where it comes from the NASDAQ news stream, got the ticker symbol wrong, so everybody bought into the wrong ticker symbol, and then they had to correct it. So what do you think happened to those people who bought the wrong ticker symbol? If they didn't lock out profits, they got dumped on, and then the other one that was the right one ran up in price. So just like stupid things like that can happen. So it's, news is one criteria I look at, but it's not my main criteria that will make me get into a stock. Unless it's something like where it was BTCS, where BTCS was the first public NASDAQ company to ever offer a dividend payment in Bitcoin. That type of news is groundbreaking news. The first ever to do something in the entire NASDAQ. And of course, BTCS also is completely 100% related to cryptos, as they are a node validator. Some of us made some pretty good money off of BTCS's RIP when it was way down here, and I was talking about that dividend PR. It shot all the way up to 9. So every once in a while, very, very rarely, you'll get some PR where it actually has some real weight to it. And you can get continuation runs, but it's very, very rare, especially in these prices of stocks. Yeah, look at there, SRRA getting rejected off of that top line there. SPY trying to still rebound kind of dojiing out right now above the 200. So still no way to tell which way we're going to go. Let me see. Oh, God, there's so much. Let's see. One life. You love buying those cheap pharmaceuticals and holding for 5 years, see if they make it on the OTC market. Off the OTC market. I was gonna say usually that's what happens. These little pharmaceutical companies can't ever get a drug that does anything, so they end up going to the OTC markets and dying there. I thought that's what you were meaning, but you corrected it. So, absolutely, Zachariah, no problem. That's what I'm here for, is try to share any info and experiences that I have had with you guys. Don't talk about barbecue ribs now. Am I streaming the JP at 2 o'clock? Um, One life, you bought 5,000 shares of BTCS under $1 on me and Lean Hog first interview. Oh, Lean Hog first interview, I'm still holding. Yeah, that. And also, if you're new to the channel, I just interviewed BTCS's CEO Charles Allen yesterday. This is the third time he's came on the channel. He's a friend of the channel. Good guy. That interview is going to be out today, so you'll be able to hear some more from Charles Allen and what BTCS is planning on doing in the future. Pretty good interview. We talked about several different things, even got into a little bit of analysis of which way we think markets are kind of heading. I got some of his opinion out of there. I asked some of you guys questions that some stuff, he's able to answer. Some stuff he's not, because he is the CEO of a public listed company. He can't just come out and answer some questions straight up, because of regulations and all of that. So you'll see in the interview where I do poke and prod to get some information out of him that, I'm not, he's not really supposed to give. And of course he does what he's supposed to and doesn't give any information. But, watch the interview yourself today when it comes out. Make your own decisions about BTCS. But I like Charles. Charles is a good guy. I like what he's done with this company. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick little break, and I will be right back. We're still not really having anything going on, and it does look like SRRA may pull back to that trend line at some point. Oh, to answer the question, am I streaming the Jerome Powell thing? No, I'm not going to. I mean, we may come... I'll talk about it on the crypto update. So if you're new, I have another channel. It's Framework Fortune Crypto. You can find it just by searching Framework Fortune Crypto. Videos will pop up for it. That I do most days at 4 p.m. Central. So it'd be really tight for me to try. We'll see. Well, hold on a second. What time? Let's see. What is it, 2 p.m. Eastern that they're doing it? Because if it's 2 p.m. Eastern, that'll be 1 p.m. my time. And then if that's the case, we'll just keep the stream going here. I might take a break and go eat lunch or something. But if it's only 1 p.m., then we'll wait. We'll just keep the stream going. Let me find out. Let me take a quick break here and find out exactly
the time differences and all of that. Because I like I'm more interested to see what the market is going to do than interested in hearing what BS is going to come out of their mouths. To be honest, but we'll see. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, it'd be 1 p.m. my time. But yeah, I'm seeing 2:30 is when the official announcement's gonna be. We'll Google it real quick. Announcement today. Here's the official Federal Reserve website. So let's see what they say. 2:30 p.m. Eastern. They're already live. They got music going and they're showing. Oh my goodness. I also want to Google something else here real quick too because I just noticed the article. Um, let's see. FOMO see. Let's see if I can just find it the way I searched it. Let's see some of these news. No, that's not what I want. What are they saying here? So we had the rarest sightings for January. A risk on Fever has vaulted equities from Shanghai to Frankfurt into the green on Wednesday. Cryptocurrencies too are rebounding with Bitcoin up more than 4% to come within a whisker of 38,000. The buy the dippers are out in force ahead. Investors are anxious for any details on the central bank's plans to wrap up its bond buying program and resume down the road the process of raising interest rates. With Fed policy so acutely driving risk assets in recent weeks. But what I saw was from MSNBC or CNBC, one of the main. Let's see, let's just do this. Just Google stock market crashing. It's 11 hours ago. Bloomberg, which we know Bloomberg is extremely biased. Let's see what he's saying. So they're saying there's companies that are healthy with strong balance sheets, which is true. But that's not every. COVID induced bear market of 2020. Get out of here. COVID didn't induce that market. But what I want to see, if mainstream media is starting to call for a crash, yeah, look here, one day ago, catastrophic stock market crash in it isn't over how much, here's how much worse it could get. And this is from Forbes. Motley Fool, my stock market crash, my 2020 playbook. Business Insider, stock market crash 6 hours ago. Veterans war more pain ahead of equities and crypto.
Is the market crashing? No. Here's what's happening. The stocks, bonds, as the Fed aims to end the days of easy money. Stop Business Insider. Stock market crash. Expert warns of 80% drop as Feds fights inflation. So, let's see. Let me go by most recent. Sort by past 24 hours because I don't want to see anything before that. The Guardian. Is the U.S. facing a stock market super bubble? Economic Times. A big global stock market crash is coming. Stock market crash 22. What the investing pros predict will happen next. So the reason why I'm going through this is, we do have SRAA breaking over 25, but not very much yet. The reason why I wanted to point all that out, the media, as bearish as I am on the stock market, the fact that mainstream media is starting to call for a market crash starts to make me skeptical, because anything mainstream media says nowadays, it's usually the opposite of what they say. So just like I was talking about with AMC and GameStop, how by the time those plays got to mainstream media, it was too late. I'm still bearish because of the technical analysis. I'm still bearish because of my sentiment towards the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, the whole way that our financial systems have been handled and used over the past 60-something years or longer. I don't even know exactly. There's so many points in history where things have gotten screwed up with our financial systems. But I always like to be contrarian to mainstream media. But now mainstream media is starting to agree with me, which makes me question myself, because I don't like it when mainstream media agrees with me. So, going off of that, maybe we do rebound here, at least for a short period of time. I don't know. Trading ever after crash or rocket. Hey, there you go, Lauren. Yeah, I mean, everybody does have an agenda. I mean, all an agenda is just, what people want to do. But I don't see, for the longest time, it's been the economy's great, the market's bullish, everything's great. And that I knew was BS, but now it's throwing me off that we're starting to see the whole worm turn, the whole narrative change so quickly, especially too with the COVID narrative all of a sudden dropping. Like this whole COVID pandemic thing is over now. The European leaders said no more need for vaccines. Joe Biden's mandates got thrown out of the Supreme Court. Now all of a sudden, after that stuff has happened, it's like I said earlier, the light switch is turned on, and it's like, oh, now we can get back to normal all of a sudden. So maybe off of the sentiment that COVID is over, the market rebounds. And that may be, it's just, it doesn't make sense for it to rebound though. I don't know. You know, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just, it's just also stupid. But anyway, SRRA is trying to break out here. Does got to get over these tops up here. Like I said, 25 is resistance, and then so is 26. Now that we're through 25, we're going to run into these little tips right here. And let's see if it can break 26. I don't think this is going to break 26 here. I think it's going to pull back before it really tries to take off. But I could be wrong. It could just start going. I mean, there's nothing really else going on in the market right now. So if investors or traders are bored and they're just sitting around waiting and they see this pop up on the scanners, and you know, it could possibly start breaking. DraftKings did have a pullback up, so there's, you know, about 75 cents you could have possibly got off of that bounce. Still not pushing very far though. All right, let's see here. Let's see if it's going to break. Nice little U shape on the 5-minute into that $25 resistance. It's only a little bit of buying volume too. We got about almost a million over the past 20 minutes coming in to this break, but it's still not a lot. So we're getting held up at 25.75 at the moment. Yeah, I know. One life, no kidding. You move it. Hey, yeah, get out of New York. You need to get, if you're in California or New York, you need to get out of there as soon as possible. California is throwing around doubling their taxes. We're getting a test of 26 right now. Let's see if it can break here. It is starting to break. It's starting to push up. Let's see if volume comes in here. We did get a nice little spike there. Half a million volume so far on this candle. But getting rejected. First test, rejected. Comes possibly a second test. Nope. That's why I'm saying you got to be in and out quick on days like this. We'll see if it'll try to test some more. It looks like it may try to hold 20.75 here for a few minutes and keep testing 26. The SPY is... Ooh. SPY is not rebounding at all. SPY is on a downtrend at the moment. Now if it can break that downtrend, possibly we could see a rebound. So here we are back up testing it again. Testing 26. A lot of sellers still sitting there. Back down to 25.75, testing that as support. Buyers coming in off of 20.75 again. See his daily chart. This is the highest it's ever been. So we did just make a new high a year also off of that 26.33. Testing that 25.75 as support again. Nice, decent amount of buying just come in there. Still getting rejected though. Let's look on this 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart actually looks really good. But I still want to see a pullback. If it breaks here and keeps running, then, you know, whatever. But I really want to see a pullback. It is starting to break 20. Well, trying again. Getting rejected again. Getting a big spread at the moment. About 20-cent spread. So that 15-minute. SPY trying to break the downtrend. All right, let's see here. Nice. So One Life you already got out, locked it out up at that 26. Perfect execution. I don't know where you got in at One Life, but I'm assuming you were probably in either through here or you got in way back down here, maybe off the trend line or something. But I'm skeptical of Mania coming in right now. That's why I don't think it's going to break 26 here. See, DraftKings still slowly climbing, so I forgot who called that out, but that was a good call out. And I did have a little pullback, but still giving some opportunities on it. Slower opportunities because it's higher float, but nonetheless, a couple opportunities to get a few pennies. $24.40, yeah. So you bought down here on that support, somewhere right there, I'm assuming. So yeah, nice execution. I just with the way sentiment has been, we've not seen resistance lines really breaking very well. So I didn't think it was even going to break 25, even though it looked like it was going to. I'm still skeptical that this is going to pull back down. See, LRN is just going sideways. So yeah, pretty much just the SRRA show for now. You trying to short KSS? I'll take a look at it. No, I'm not a shorter. I'll look at it. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let me look at the daily. Oh yeah, yeah. I see why you want to short. Why you want to short Coles for? Coles. That's a pretty big gap up. That's a $20 gap up. Um, don't, and that is what also the high of the year we just hit yesterday. Oh wait a minute, did we even hit a high? No, we didn't. Yeah, so it didn't even hit a high. It got rejected before then. Yeah, I see what you're looking at, One Life. That definitely is possible short play. If that thing breaks down, maybe crack of 60. That's what I'm kind of seeing there. Definitely could see some downward momentum, especially if the SPY doesn't rebound. Oh, SRA just started breaking that $26 area up to 26.64, 26.75 through 26.75, 26.90, 27. There comes the big rip. Finally starting to see a nice move out of a stock. See if it can keep going though. Got all the way up almost to 28 there. 27 starting to hold, has some support. Buyers trying to come in and hold that up. 27 is going to hold, and we'll see some more upward momentum. Trying to hold. Getting a little sketchy here. Not able to get back over 27 now. Trying to hold up 26.75. Just like we were trying to hold up 25.75. There it goes. Looks like it's going to try to break 27 again here in just a second. See a shorter time frame, 15-minute. Yeah, we really don't have any resistance ahead of us. There goes the 27 little pop over. It didn't quite make it though. It did get rejected there. So just like 25.75 held here, and then we had buyers come in and push it up. Same thing is happening again. We're trying to hold up 26.75 as a new little support area for the time being. Getting a little bit of a wick on that one. All right, 26.75 not holding up, so now 26.50 is trying to hold up as support. So far holding. Up, starting to crack through 26.50. See, 26.50 on the ask is starting to hold up as resistance instead of support. So maybe this will be the pullback that I was looking for. Maybe it'll start here because it is looking like it is struggling to try to break. But it looked like that at 26, so I don't know. Keep a close eye on it. It's the SPY doing, yeah, SPY, see there? SPY hitting that downtrend, curling down below it. But this was a nice little play. If you got in here, made some quick little profits off the scalp, very nice. You know, $2-3 rip in a sketchy market like we're in is a nice rip. It's a nice rip on a good day. So it's definitely a nice rip on a bad day. All right, trading ever after. Have a good one. Since it's 1:30 is when the time is for the announcement, a lot of times they're late. They don't come right out at 1:30. Maybe they will today. But I'm not going to leave the stream running because that would be, a couple hours of me not doing anything, and I need to edit and get the BTCS interview with Charles Allen up today. So I'm going to call it a day here in a few minutes, and then we'll come back at 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern, and we'll see what they got to say. I'll cover it today. We'll see. You guys are probably going to see me cringe and twist and turn, and there'll probably be a rant somewhere in there. Why not? But yeah, if you guys got any questions or anything, go ahead and get those in. I'm going to give the stream about 10 more minutes here. Go get some lunch, work on getting the BTCS Charles Allen interview up for you guys, and then we'll come back at 1:30. I think that's the best plan. Because I don't want to be like waiting at 1 and, we expect them to start at 1:30 and then they don't start till 3 p.m. Eastern or whatever. So it did just bounce off of $26 back up to that 26.50 area, starting to go green on this candle as well. So I use market orders most of the time. So the thing with market and limit orders is a real quick, easy lesson. The limit orders do not guarantee that your order will get filled, but they would guarantee that if you do get filled, you will get filled at the price you put in for the limit order. And then, of course, market order guarantees the order will get filled, but doesn't guarantee what price you're going to get filled at. So most of the time I use market orders, but that's my personal preference. HH uses limit orders, I think, for everything. I don't think he uses market orders. So that's pretty much for buying. For selling, it kind of depends. If I want to sell, sometimes you see me put in a limit. Well, sometimes you see me put in a stop loss. Those stop losses I'm putting in are stop market orders. So with a stop market, when it hits the price that I want it to trigger at, it's going to trigger into a market order. So my stop losses aren't even limit orders. My trailing stop losses are not limit orders either. And the reason why I do not use limit orders personally, for the most part, I use them sometimes, but for the most part, I don't use them because they may not get you out of the stock. When we're trading stocks that are low float and they move very quickly up and down, that limit order may not get filled, right? If a ton of volume comes in and you've got a limit order in for your stop loss, it's a stop limit loss order, say at $26 here on SRRA, and you know, it comes back down and there's a big sell off and a halt, it could skip right over your $26 stop limit order and drop down to 25, and then you would have to cancel that damn limit order and try to hurry up and get back out of it, put another limit order in here at 25. Like, I want to be in and out. So if I put in a trailing stop, I want it to be a market because I want it to yank me out of it. I do not want to be in there if the stock is turning around on me. I don't want to accidentally be in there. I don't want to have to worry about whether or not my calculations on the limit order set price is accurate, because I make a lot of just dumb mistakes. So me overcomplicating it for my own personal trading, I would probably end up making dumb mistakes more often than I already do. So, but it's up to you. It's your preference. There's not a wrong or right way to do buy and sell orders with market or limit. It just depends on your trading plan and your trading strategy. So, with market order, the broker, I mean, technically, the broker could cut your price in half or more, but that's not usually the case. Right? If for instance, if you were in SRRA like One Life at 24.40, and this thing runs up to 26 or 27, if you market order sell right here, it may yank down a little bit and you might not get quite $27. You might get $26.98 or something like that, but you're talking about a 15-20 cent difference on a $2-3 rip just now. So, I mean, if you want to be that specific, that technical about it, down to the penny for your profits, you're more than, that's up to you. That's your personal preference. But like I said, I know how I am. You guys have seen me click accidentally and buy and sell positions. I just did it the other day on DWAC where I accidentally was trying to put in a trailing stop and somehow put in a 10-cent trailing stop. And as soon as I hit that, it got me out of DWAC, and then DWAC ran another $5-6. So, it's not, there's not a wrong or right way to do your orders as far as what type of order you use. It's just more or less, your personal preference. If it's a stock where it's shooting up and it's halted, multiple times straight up or something, and then you do a market order to try to market out of your profits, and all of a sudden the stock just dumps crazily, well then yeah, it could fill you at a whole lot lower price and you could lose some of those profits. We are getting a test of 27 right now. It may try to break out here. Today when you sold when the market was closed. So Lori, you couldn't have put a market order in while the market was closed. Unless, here's the thing though. You're out of country because you're in a different country. I don't know. What I'm saying is only in my experience with the US stock market. So however interactive broker works in the country that you're in may easily be different. The market orders may not be as quickly executed as they are in America with Thinkorswim. So I don't want to steer you wrong there because I have no clue how the market orders work over there. They may be a little bit more greedier and yanking them out. But in America, you can't even use a market order except during market open hours. Pre-market, you have to use limit orders. After hours, you have to use limit orders. Market orders only will trigger during open market hours. So yeah, you can put in. So yeah, see, you can put in a market order when the market's closed and it triggered. That's not something that happens in America. So I really don't know. In that case, see, that's why I say it's all about personal preference. And that's the whole thing with trading. Trading can be different from person to person. It can be different from state to state. It can be different from country to country. So in that case, if market orders are not working, they are taking most of your profits from the market orders, then I wouldn't use market orders at all. I would just use limit orders. And maybe use market orders as a backup in case something happens and your limit order doesn't get hit. But yeah, that's concerning. So that difference right there, it may be totally different. So that's why I say it's all personal preference. And in your case, Lori, I don't hearing that piece of information, I don't know if it's a good idea for you to use market orders. During market open, when you day trade, the market order works perfectly. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing then. If so, then maybe maybe you can work both the market and limit orders. But if you're going to put in an order in pre-market or after hours or while the market is closed, maybe if they allow you to put it in as a limit order or something like that, or maybe a trailing stop. Like trailing stops are great. Like especially if you're a busy person, in the morning you could sit down and look at like two or three stocks and be like, well, I'm pretty sure one of these is going to move. Get in all three of them and put a trailing stop in all three of them, and that trailing stop will follow the price up until it yanks down. So with a trailing stop, if you're like trying to get out of a position while market is closed or while you're sleeping, that trailing stop, if it's a limit order and extended hours, could work. But then again, if it's a trailing stop limit, it also could get skipped over. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, it's more of a personal preference thing. But yeah, I would just be careful with it if you ran into that issue during or after normal hours. Only today outside of the market, yeah. Yeah, that's strange. Like I said, they don't let us put market orders in here, so I don't even know. I mean, so okay, let's think of it this way. Let's think of it. Remember, this is all transactions, supply and demand, and people, right? If there is no one willing to buy your stock at your limit order that you put in, if there's no buyer to you selling, then your limit order would get stopped, right? Because you got to have, if you're selling your shares, you've got to have a buyer. So with a limit order, you are basically you're putting a unofficial agreement with a limit order out there that says, hey, this is a better way to put it. You're putting a price tag on your shares, a specific price tag. So if nobody comes by and buys up your specific price tag on that limit order, then nobody buys it, right? So you don't get out of the stock. It'd be like going to Kohl's or something, and Kohl's having like some shirt that people want, but they've got it priced at like say they got a shirt that says SRRA on the shirt, right? So this SRRA shirt, Kohl's has got a limit price on it, on the tag, at $28. That's the price they want to sell the shirt for, the SRRA shirt, right? if no customers come in the store and want to pay $28 for the shirt, they're not going to sell the shirt, right? They have to mark it down in price to where buyers are willing to come buy that shirt. So you have to meet, if you put a limit order out there, you're putting a specific price that buyers have to come to, or sellers if it's a limit order on the buy side, right? So kind of maybe that's, a little decent metaphor. We are breaking over 27 on this now. Looks like this thing may try to keep climbing. SPY's still wampling around at the moment. Yeah, yeah. No kidding, Lori. That makes a big difference. You are absolutely right. That little tidbit of information that I didn't know, once you told me that changed the whole perspective and idea of what is happening with your issues. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just giving a little bit more information, or digging for that little bit more of information, and it could possibly change the whole way that you trade, the whole way that you see the world, the whole way that you interact in your normal daily life, depending on what the subject is. Specifically, we're talking about trading, but that idea of just a little bit of information can make a big difference, I think rings very true across everything after this past 10 years in the political realm. A lot of people just got that one little bit more little research, instead of just stopping at the article they read and, go a little bit farther than that article. Google a little bit more, find a news source you'd never heard of and see what they're saying about it. Might be a little tad bit of information that might change your mind on some things. The littlest things sometimes can be the biggest changes in our lives. And I'll leave you guys with that. I will be back 1:30, I guess. We'll see what old Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve has cooked up for us today, and see how the market reacts from there. But appreciate everybody joining me as always. You guys have a great rest of your day, and if I don't see you at 1:30, I'll see you next time.